Welcome to Your Health Today with Charlie Rouse. In our program today, we'll talk about health issues that are important to you and your family and how products from the world of natural medicine can help us all stay strong, fit, and healthy. And now, here's your host of Your Health Today, Chris Hall.
And welcome to Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. Chris Hall with you today. And Dr. Rouse, of course, joining us for our program today. And Dr. Rouse, it's good to see you. And finally, as we're broadcasting today, I know a lot of the country is heavy under the snow and ice. Just this gigantic storm that has hit the mid part of the country. Where we are in South Georgia, it's kind of cool, but the sun is shining today. And that just reminds me of how important vitamin D3 is to us, right? The sun is shining, but when it's cold, does it really help that much?
You're very, 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 very right, because most people in the snow, rainy, cold section of the world, and because the earth is turned, they don't get D3. No, so they got to supplement.
Yeah.
But down south, we used to get a lot, but we don't play golf like we used to.
No,
and we don't motorboat like we used to.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Inside. Everybody needs D3. And what you need is 35 units per 1 body pound. So 100 pounds needs 3,500, and 200 pounds needs 7,000. That's everyday minimum. You can definitely take more than that without any issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
But D3 controls your blood pressure. D3 controls your blood sugars.
Yeah.
D3 controls your immune system. Hey, and if you didn't get but those 3 benefits, it's worth taking every day.
Yeah, you better believe that. Now, it's not just vitamin D, though, right? It's vitamin D3, because a lot of vitamin Ds are synthetically produced. Not really vitamin D, is it? Is that right? Do I get that right?
D3 is chole, C-H-O-L-E, cholecalciferol. And D2 is ergo, which is not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I don't put D2 in my body. No.
Yeah.
Pharmacologically, as a pharmacist, that's a no. But I am a big fan of D number 3, only D3.
There you go. So, and that's one of the things we're being told in this COVID era that we need to take to kind of help us to keep our immune system up and going. A couple of things I saw in the news, Dr. Rouse, as I was kind of perusing around and trying to, just be better informed about what's happening in our world as far as our health is concerned. Saw a study, actually, I saw it reported today. It was a study that was done some while ago and published in the journal Aging, which I'm not familiar with. I'm sure you are. But here's the gist of the report and the study they did. They said older adults who get little sleep each night may be at heightened risk of dementia or early death, according to this study. Researchers found that among 2,600 older Americans, those who were deemed short sleepers, that is, catching no more than 5 hours of sleep at night, were more likely to develop dementia or even die over the next 5 years. Their risk were double that of older people who typically got the recommended 7 to 8 hours of shut-eye a night. And so apparently there's some kind of connection between not getting the sleep you need and the possibility of dementia and even death among older Americans, according to this study. I in the past, I've seen similar studies with that. So I know a lot of times when you get a little age on you, sometimes it's kind of hard to go to sleep and to get a good night's sleep. You're getting up in the middle of the night. You're having to do some things. So talk a little bit about that, the importance of sleep and maybe something natural to help us older folks to maybe go to sleep in a better way and get a good night's sleep. I know you've talked about this before. Remind us about natural things that can help us to be good sleepers, which is very important for us at night, right?
Wow, Chris, that's plumb scary.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
The older we get, the less we sleep.
Yeah.
But the book, Ecclesiastes, 12th chapter, actually describes the older we are, we don't hear like we used to hear, we don't see like we used to see, and we don't think like we used to think. But it also says we don't sleep like we used to sleep. Right. And a little sleep is, all right, so they put it at 5 hours. Yeah. If you're getting any dream, if you're dreaming at all, you're okay. Because that tells you the body has hit the refresh, rejuvenate button. And the truth is that usually that kind of sleep comes after the second hour. Right. Some people, if they sleep 2 hours and then the rest of the night's restless, that's the kidneys, that's the adrenal system. And we can give them nutrition to take away stress, and that'll solve that issue. For most of us, we can use, it's a flour nutrition, and they make it with seven different flours, and it's neat. I take it every night. And the reason I take it is because I work 3 jobs every day.
You do.
I got to de-stress.
Yeah, I know.
I don't need my Rolodex to be reminding me of this or that or the other. So when I go to bed at night, I take those 7 different flours in one capsule. Yeah. And guess what? I sleep like a baby. Yeah. Now, us men are going to be way more prone, sometime 1 or 2 times during the night. Our bladder doesn't hold like it used to, right. And the prostate may be connected to it, and sometimes all of those issues can wake us up. So for men, many times we solve that problem by giving them either a prostate support of some sort, does an amazing job on sleep. Second thing is that in anybody who has a lot of bladder irritation and they're just needing to manage their bladder, the herb is called Angelica, like the angel, Angelica. It has solved the bladder management issue for thousands of people. Pretty neat. Now, most of us, we can get a good night's wink just by relaxing. So what you don't want to do is watch the evening news before you go to bed, because there's nothing on there that's going to calm you down.
That's true.
And you don't want to just read something rambunctious, because it's just going to stimulate you. Right. And you certainly don't need to be chewing on an Oreo with lots of chocolate, because that'll stimulate you. Right. But I have heard that 6 vanilla wafers can calm some people down with the L-tryptophan. I had one man that misunderstood what I said, and he did eat 6 Oreos. 6 vanilla
if
wafers.
It can only be true.
And he had the worst night of his life. He said, wow. Dr. Charlie, you don't know what you're talking about. Some people have like cramps. They need more mineral, like magnesium, potassium. Right. So truthfully, it's not just one answer for everybody. Yeah. But if you're not getting a good night's sleep, do check with a professional. Go natural. Right. No, don't go the worldly prescription. The Ambien can only solve your issue temporarily, and then it comes back to haunt you. Right. Go natural, and 50% of the people, Chris, can use melatonin. Yeah. 3 milligrams of melatonin. And guess what? That magazine you're reading, the Aging Journal, right. In that journal, they have clinics all over the world. And in every clinic, they advise their patients to take, irregardless of their medical condition, take 3 milligrams of melatonin, because it preserves your gray matter. Right. So it won't shrink in the head.
Now, there you go. And in fact, the study said, it gave some suggestions. Keep televisions and devices out of the bedroom. You know, when you go to bed. Make the bedroom for sleep and sleep alone. Also, they said, avoid looking at bright screens close to bedtime. That blue light can throw off your...
That's an idea, isn't it?
Yeah. You said the light can throw off your natural rhythm. And finally, the other suggestion they make is to support the natural rhythm, get plenty of sunshine during the day. Fresh air and sunlight are like nature's medicine, they said. So go outside or sit by a window or something. So good, information. Sounds like they've been talking to you, and you often tell us about that.
Many years ago over at Auburn University, they were teaching their veterinary students how to raise the best chickens. And they came in there and they built these $1 million chicken coops. I'm talking about with air conditioning and lights and feather beds. They had the whole works.
Oh, my.
And the chickens weren't producing. And an old farmer from Auburn, Alabama came over there and he said, well, no wonder a chicken can't lay an egg unless he gets sunshine in his eyes. You got to keep these rascals back out in the yard. And did you know, or as soon as they cut a hole in the top of their $1 million chicken coop and the sunshine came in there, all those mother hens laid eggs.
How about that? Well, these farmers, these farmers and their wives and the old school remedies, sometimes, they're right on point. Most often they're right on point. And if you want to contact Dr. Rouse for more information about this or anything we talk about today, let me just quickly tell you, you can call Dr. Rouse 229-436-0100, or you can email him at drrouse@att.net and just spell out Dr. Rouse at att.net. And of course, you can go to yourhealthtodaypodcast.com. You'll find our podcast there. You'll find links to send Dr. Rouse information and questions there, as well as going to themedicineman.com. Also, Dr. Rouse, I saw a study which it came out just shortly ago. A nationwide U.S. study has found increasing death rates from heart disease in women under the age of 65. In fact, heart disease death rates, according to the study, have been rising since 2010. And the study leader of the study said young women in the United States are becoming less healthy, which is now reversing prior improvements in heart disease deaths. With worsening epidemics of diabetes and obesity across developed countries, our findings are a warning sign that we need to pay more attention to the health of younger women. And the study concludes most heart disease can be avoided with a healthy, balanced diet, physical activity, not smoking, and maintaining healthy blood pressure, blood glucose, cholesterol levels, and body weight. And so kind of a discerning, very concerning study about the death rates among heart disease in younger women. Now, a lot of times, young women, and the study makes this point, young women are so focused on taking care of their kids and taking care of other folks that sometimes they kind of neglect a little bit their own physical health. But this study kind of raises a red flag that young women need to come see Dr. Charlie and talk with Dr. Charlie, younger women under the age of 65, about, okay, this is my situation. This is what I'm doing. I want to stay healthy for my family. Kind of help me, talk to me. And you've talked to a lot of young women about their particular situation, hadn't you?
We do, Chris. That reminds me of a 40-year-old mother who had babies when she was 20 and hadn't been back to the doctor, OBGYN or a checkup in 20 years. The kids were 20 years old now, babies born 20 years ago. And they said, hey, Mom, you need to have a physical. And she went in and she had every one of those conditions you just named.
Wow. Blood
pressure was high, cholesterol was high, blood sugars was high, and she had a few extra inches around the waist. And the doctor got onto her, but he said, that's okay. I got an ACE inhibitor for your blood pressure. I got a metformin for your blood sugars. Yeah. I've got a statin drug for your cholesterol. And on the way out, I want you to get the diabetic diet and just follow it and you'll lose some weight.
Yeah.
Well, tears, 3 prescription drugs, 40 years old. Are they protecting her heart or are they looking after her cardiovascular?
Yeah.
And so in natural medicine, we always see that's symptomatic. That's putting a Band-Aid on the problem.
Right.
We're always after the root cause. That's called metabolic syndrome, Syndrome X. So now that 40-year-old mother, what she needed was specific nutrition for Syndrome X, for the metabolic X, one nutrition. And what happened? What happened was that her insulin was now becoming resistant. The cell just wasn't taking up and using insulin. And so that left excess sugar that created high blood pressure. Yeah, sugar creates blood pressure.
Right.
And that created diabetes. And that created weight. And that caused fatty liver. And that made the cholesterol and the triglycerides go up.
Right.
So what happens? Does she need 3 prescription drugs? Well, if you treat the insulin resistance with natural medicine, all those symptoms correct. How about that?
Yeah.
So you see, going to the root cause, insulin resistance. So doctors, treat your patients for insulin resistance.
Right.
And then let your patient get well with blood pressure, get well with cholesterol, get well with marginal blood sugar levels. It works.
Yeah.
Millions of patients have found the way out.
And, when you're talking about being on 3 prescriptions, generally when you go on a prescription, that's it. You're on it for the rest of your life. And that adds up, and when it comes to your health, of course, your health is worth any kind of cost, but boy, that's a lot of money to invest in medicine. But natural, just having a natural mindset. Okay, first of all, to deal with this, I want to find out what God has provided in nature. That will help me, and you're the perfect resource for that. And people just like you all across the country are perfect resources for that, to try to find out, okay, what is there natural that can help me? Not that, they may not need some of that medication. And you say sometimes people need medications like that, but boy, the natural alternative's got to be the first alternative. And I feel for young women, and the stress they're having today with trying to raise their kids and all of this environment, everything is going on. They really need to take care of themselves, don't they? And exercise is so very important. My daughter just called me. She said, Daddy, you inspired me to get a treadmill. I got a treadmill on my back. So she got her a treadmill. And of course, she's in that category. So, it's really important for young women, and we want to stress that. Go see Dr. Charlie and talk with him, and you'll be happy to talk with him, right?
Right. And see, they're going to stay on their medications, but at least for the next 90 days, we're going to teach them proper nutrition with supplementation. Yeah. And then when they go back to the doctor, between their physician and them, things are better. I mean, you can look at the liver enzymes and see that the ALG, SGOT, AST is better. That means that fatty liver is going away. Ooh. And then the blood sugars, the A1C tells the whole story. Right. A1C down in the 5.6 instead of 8 or 9. Yeah. And A1C is unique. In your body, Chris, the red blood cells that carry oxygen and iron and all that stuff. The red blood cells are made out of protein. And protein, if a sugar molecule comes along and you got insulin resistance, it gets stuck to that red blood cell. Now, red blood cells live for 4 months, and then they die and you get a new one. Right. But what they do when you go to the blood test, they tell the computer to find the oldest red blood cell in the bunch. And then they look at that 4-month-old red blood cell. And if that Oreo or Snicker bar is still stuck to that red blood cell, okay, your A1C level is high.
I got you.
But if you're able to metabolize it, you're okay, because your body's taking care of business.
Yeah, well, we love our ladies and we want them to be healthy, especially these moms. All of them are important, but moms and their family depends on them so much. As we went into our program today, I literally got an alert about something very interesting from Salt Lake City. Intermountain Healthcare doctors announced new mammogram guidelines Tuesday in response to a surprising new side effect of the COVID-19 vaccine. They say women who recently received a COVID-19 vaccine may have to reschedule their yearly mammogram. They say when one receives a vaccination, there is an inflammatory response in the arm. And apparently, this has resulted in swollen lymph nodes on screening mammograms of women who have been recently vaccinated. And it's affecting apparently a pretty good percentage of women. who have received the vaccination, the COVID-19 vaccination, it's affecting their lymph nodes. Now, they say, well, this is a natural result of taking vaccinations and this, that, and the other. Doesn't sound natural to me. What do you think about that study, Dr. Rouse, talking about the effect on the lymph nodes from the COVID-19 vaccination? And I think they said it was the Pfizer one of them, Moderna maybe one of them, that is causing this. What do you think about that?
Yes, and we're finding that the vaccines, the COVID genetic therapy, gene therapy inside the liquid, what they hold all of that chemistry together with is big words. One of them is propylene glycol. It's antifreeze in your car.
Seriously? Seriously? It's antifreeze? Oh, my.
Instead of ethylene glycol, they're using propylene glycol, but it's all in the same chemistry. And it is causing lymphatic tissue to swell and to have inflammation. And so definitely you don't want to do a mammogram at this time simply because you'll get a false reading. Right. And now you're going to be scared to death because they're going to say, oh, you got lymphatic tissue swollen. You must have breast cancer.
Yeah.
So wait and at least let the inflammation go down.
Right.
So, shots are shots.
Yeah, just
chemistry, and it's not a natural. It is it is a chemistry.
Yeah.
I, as a chemist, I looked to see what they put in the shot with the shot.
Yeah.
And when they make a shot, it ain't just a shot. It's got other stuff in there.
Right.
I was appalled, Chris. I was appalled because it's the first time in the world that they've ever put two of those chemistries in a vaccine.
Yeah.
If nothing else, they should have used something they've used, like for the last 100 years.
Right.
Why pick up something new and put it in a vaccine? Because you got millions of people and you don't really know. You have no idea what their reaction going to be to those chemistries.
Right.
So people that are interested in what you just said about the breast tissue they need to go to a website. It's a website by MDs, by real physicians.
Right.
And it's Vax, like VAXX, like the Vax, TER, VAXXTER.com. You're going to be amazed at what they made those vaccines with. As a pharmacist, it appalls me.
Yeah.
It scares me.
Yeah.
It scares me.
And it was done so quickly. I mean, it was done so quickly, and I'm sorry, it just takes time to develop those things in a safe manner. It was done so quickly, and we understand the urgency of it. But boy, you hear stuff like that. I just, we just need to be educated, and sharing information like that is a good thing. And Dr. Charlie, in fact, the other day I came into your store and you were on the phone with a dear sweet lady who had heard one of our podcasts, and she was asking you about all of this, and you were telling her the truth. I started to sit over there and say amen as you were talking to her, but she was very concerned about her health and the health of her husband. And you were very kind in taking your time with her and answering all of her questions. And that's what Dr. Charlie does. He answers all of those questions. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment on Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse.
Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. We'll be right back.
Who is Dr. Charlie Rouse? Dr. Rouse is a pharmacist with a degree from the University of Georgia College of Pharmacy. He is an expert in the world of natural medicine. He is the founder and owner of the Medicine Man's Corner, a business which specializes in pharmaceutical-grade nutritional vitamins, natural products, and more. Dr. Rouse is a natural product formulator, writer, author, lecturer, and radio and TV personality. Dr. Rouse is a husband and father. He is also a Christian who really cares about helping people. For more information on the many products Dr. Rouse has to offer, visit his website, themedicineman.com. You can contact Dr. Rouse through his website, or you can email him at drrouse@att.net. That's DOCTORROUSE@att.net. Or you can call Dr. Rouse at 229 436-0100 to set up a confidential professional healthcare consultation in person, over the phone, or on the internet. Dr. Rouse would love to hear from you.
Here's Chris Hall, host of Your Health Today, with the Medicine Man, Dr. Charlie Rouse.
Dr. Rouse, what's good for bone health?
For women, the biggest threat to bone health is osteoporosis. That's a condition in which the bones lose their supporting tissue as well as their mineral content. Osteoporosis affects better than 20 million women in the United States, and a woman can reduce the risk of osteoporosis by engaging in regular exercise, not smoking, drinking less soda pops, and getting with supplementation. Certainly we know about calcium and vitamin D, but the most important nutrition for the bone is iproflavone, I-P-R-I-F-L-A-V-O-N-E. Iproflavone. It's a natural for bone density.
His website is themedicineman.com.
Welcome back to Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse.
All right, we're back today with on our program today with Dr. Charlie Rouse, Your Health Today. And again, let me quickly jump in and give you some contact information. As you can see on our podcast screen, you can go to yourhealthtodaypodcast.com. There you'll find all of our programs, and our programs are getting a lot of play around the country. And you can go there and you can revisit all of our podcasts. And you'll also find contact information there at the website, and you can go to themedicineman.com. And there you'll find contact information as well for Dr. Rouse. Or you can call Dr. Rouse. Jot this number down, 229-436-0100. And Dr. Rouse will set up a personal, professional consultation with you. He'll do it over the phone, over the internet, in person. He'll do whatever he needs to do. He'll talk with you. And you can send him an email at drrouse@att.net and just spell it all out there. Dr. Rouse, also, I did my homework before our program today. But I saw that this kind of hits home with people that I love. But another study says pre-diabetes, where blood sugar levels are high but not yet tipped over into full-blown diabetes, may pose a threat to brain health, according to a new study out of Britain. As an observational study, it cannot prove higher blood sugar levels cause worsening brain health, according to the study. However, they say we believe that there is a potential connection that needs to be investigated further. The associations between prediabetes and mental and cognitive decline and vascular dementia remain even after the researchers accounted for other potential risk factors, including age, smoking, weight, level of heart disease, and poverty. So pre-diabetes, now that's when somebody has the condition and it's on the way to diabetes, but they may not know it yet. So is it a good thing? Is it a good thing to have your blood sugar level tested on a regular basis? And what about just doing something preventative, like with some kind of natural thing that will address sugar in our blood? What do you think about that?
Excellent questions. And you're right. I would highly recommend getting your blood tested regularly. And the A1C and the blood sugar fasting, if A1C is above 7, then that's the person that Chris is talking about, that vascular blood vessels in the brain getting discombobulated. And if your blood sugars, just with a regular meter, is over 140 on any given morning, you need to check that out right away, because it should be below 100. And if it's hitting the 140, that means your body's having a hard time while you're sleeping. And sometimes, did you know that if you're missing amino acids, that your body will rob the amino acids from your muscle, and that'll make your blood sugar go up. So it's a lot of connections there. And two nutritions, one called liver support, the other called diabetic support, will solve that issue. Yeah. It'll make your blood sugar, it cleans the liver, gets rid of fatty liver, makes the blood better and the insulin more sensitive instead of resistant. And when all those things come into play, the body is going to be young and spiffy and vibrant. And,
Right.
and one thing I don't want to lose is my mind.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Probably aware, because who knows? Here I get on the podcast with Chris, and he's asking me all kind of questions, and he didn't give me none of the questions before we started.
That's right. That's true. I just spring it all on you, don't I, brother? Oh, man. Well, again, this would be, I think, applicable to younger Americans. A lot of times young people, and I classify young as up to 50, they think, well, health issues are for the older folks. But, the older people may have health issues, but they build over time as you're young and they kind of grow and compound. Boy, it's so important. Young people sometimes, and speaking as an oldster, young people sometimes are not really careful with their health as they need to be. It's so very important. I would love for a 25-year-old to come in and see Dr. Rouse and say, Dr. Rouse, okay, I'm 25, I'm healthy, I don't know of anything wrong with me, but is there something that I can take to make sure that I'm firing on all cylinders as far as my health is concerned, my mind is concerned? It would be, I didn't do that. I wish I had done that as a younger person, but wouldn't it be great to have young people to come in and sit down with you and tell them their situation and say, okay, where do I need to go from here? And you talk to them about nutrition, right?
One thing right up front, we tell them fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
And they say, well, I don't have time. I can't eat balanced meals. And look how easy it is now. Nutrition. I mean, in a bottle, all the fruits, all the vegetables you would ever need. And all you got to do is just at least once a day swallow it. Yeah. And you'll get all the benefits of the fruits and the vegetables.
Yeah. And then, of course, we talked, I think, on our last program about the advertisement on TV now, where you got all the fruits and all the vegetables in a product, and I forget the name of the product, but it looked good. And in fact, I saw a commercial about it the other day, and I told my wife, Dr. Rouse says that's good. We need to get some of that, and so that'll give you all that you need. And you don't have to sit down and eat it all. You can just swallow it all, but it's good. I enjoy a good old banana and orange and apple and the vegetables as well. As we come to the close of our program, one other study I saw was about peanut allergies, and kind of interesting. I know a lot of people deal with peanut allergies, but a new study says that it starts out 4.6 million U.S. adults have peanut allergies, and now they have found that many are developing peanut allergies in adulthood. They didn't have it as kids, but as an adult, they develop the peanut allergy. Over 800,000 adults, over 17% of them develop their allergy after turning the age of 18. Now, a lot of times we know about peanut allergies with kids, and they say about, a small percentage will outgrow that as they reach into adulthood. But then you got adults who are developing peanut allergies when they didn't have it as a kid. Now, what's behind that? And is that kind of a nutritional thing? What do you think about that study?
Chris, my personal physician, the one I go to for my blood pressure, blood sugar, my daily physical, yearly, annual stuff, he told me the last time I was there, he said that a lot of these conditions that you're talking about, like the peanut allergy, that he firmly believes that it's MOLD, mold.
Really?
He thinks that the leaves and the trees and the environment is just saturated now with mold. Yeah. The roof is leaked and the carpet is wet. Mold is everywhere. Yeah. And he says that's the reason we're seeing people that weren't allergic younger catching it older. And I said, well, hey, we're down here in South Georgia. We're in a warm, moist, moldy. What are we going to do? And he said, it's simple. You just take good nutrition for mold. Yeah. And I said, well, what is it?
Yeah, no.
What are we going to do? And one of them that they use is out of the beehive. They call it propolis. Yeah. Propolis. It's what the bee actually makes to protect the hive from mold, M-O-L-D. Yeah. That's interesting that people with COVID-19 in the hospital, in ICU, you know what they're giving them? Ivermectin, a drug which is anti-mold.
How about that?
So, you know, they may do something here.
Yeah.
They may be onto something.
Yeah, how about that? So very, very interesting. Well, Dr. Rouse, has been a very informative program today and a quick program today. We've talked about a lot of good things, and I would just encourage folks to go by and see Dr. Charlie Rouse. In fact, I would suggest that mom and dad get the kids, say, Dr. Rouse, we want to come see you. You'll set aside a time and just go around the table like, Mom, here we are. Dad, here we are. Kiddos, here we are, whatever age they may be. And you would love to talk with them and kind of see where they are and maybe chart a course for how in a natural way they can maintain their health and be healthy. And you would love to do that, wouldn't you?
I'd love to. And we're after the physical, mental, emotional health of it. And if they'd like some spiritual help, here's Charlie and Chris. We'd love to preach to you. We're on these podcasts.
Yeah.
And Dr. Charlie, or Facebook, I believe. Chris has me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Liberty Baptist Church of Albany.
Yeah.
That's a Facebook. And you know what? Chris has got a lot of my sermons up there on the Facebook.
Great sermons. Yeah.
And you can tell them about where do we find you at, Baptist Preacher? Where are we going to find you?
Well, Truths for Life with Chris Hall is where they can find mine. And then, of course, on Facebook as well. And, we love people. And I know you love people. We love people. And we want them to be strong physically. We want them to be strong, of course, spiritually. We just, God has given us one shot at this, Dr. Rouse. We have one life to live. That's not just a soap opera. That's the truth. And we want our life as best as we can to be a good, healthy life and a happy life. And that's what God wants for us. He wants us to have a healthy and happy life. And, of course, true happiness begins when we know Him and we love Him and we have faith in Him and trust in Him. And so, the Lord is interested in us physically and spiritually and in every way to have a happy life. And that's what we want, and that's what Dr. Charlie Rouse and that's really what we try to do in life. Well, Dr. Rouse, thank you so much for joining us today. You're a gem of a man. Thank you for all of the good information that you have shared with us. And we'll have another program soon, and just share the good news. Be sure to tell everybody about where they can find our podcast and how they can find this good information. Until next time, this is Chris Hall for Dr. Charlie Rouse. May God bless you, and please stay safe.
Thank you for joining us for our program today. You can reach Dr. Rouse online through his website, themedicineman.com, or you can email Dr. Rouse at drrouse@att.net. Dr. Rouse is also available by phone at 229-436-0100. Join us again next time for Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. Until then, please stay safe and may God bless you.